derramar.
sacrifices.
Spill it. Spill it. Spill it. Spill it. But that was a significant point because the indigenous, when Our Lady appeared, they understand that the really bread, the really sacrifice offered by our Jesus Christ were the real sacrifice. That was important. That was important because I'm going to with the arrival of Spaniards came very few missionaries. Between 1523 and 1531, only 40 missionaries were counted. The population, how to say population? The population were so big, 25 millions of indigenous for only 40 missionaries. They don't go to evangelize so much people. That is why the miracle of Our Lady Guadalupe is so important, not only for the Mexicans, not only for the indigenous, because in that time the indigenous was so hurt because they asked them, asked, se preguntaban, they ask themselves, how is possible if we are the sons of the God, of the sons, God, we are the sons, how it's possible that in this time he is not doing nothing for us because the Spaniards was oppressive, the indigenous, was take out their sacrifices and then was so depressed. And the miracle, they was suffering so much because that encounter between two religious cultures was very strong. They can and the next another point that so hard for that our Indians believe in the really God was that were a mixture of two races. The Spaniards and the indigenous were named mestizos. Produces crossbreeding, being this mixture very despises. The image of Our Lady of Mother Guadalupe appears in the tilma of Saint John Juan Diego, or San Juan Diego, with the identity of mestiza. She not appear like an indigenous. She not appear like Spaniards because she appears when one important desire of God. That desire of God is not only for the mestizas or indigenous or Spaniards. It's for all the world. The real miracle that made Our Lady of Guadalupe is that she has a very important message of God. God wants the unity of all the nations, of all the races, with all the people. And that is because the miracle of the Virgin of Guadalupe is not only for Mexico, it's only for Kenya, it's only for all the world, for all, only for it's not only for Mexico, it's for Japan, for Kenya, for South America. That is the desire of our God. And that's miracle was named the burnet of the Tepeyac. And we has that we can be review with that promise of God in Revelations 12, verses 12.
Chapter 12, verse 1.
Chapter 12, verses 1. Um, a great sign appeared in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. That's the real miracle. Our Lady of Guadalupe is the Virgin of the Apocalypse. Is the promise since where the Genesis our Father made for all humans. Now I'm going to talk about the conditions what were of the founding of Christianity and Catholic Church. Faced with this situation of confusion and of idolatry, of human sacrifices that were offered 20, 20, 100, 20,
200,000. 200,000. 200,000.
200,000
Thousand.
and 200,000 per year, and of abuse towards one indigenous, God intervenes in favor of both with the acontecimiento Guadalupano. The appearance of Saint Mary, Mary takes nothing from paganism. Mary, the indigenous could recognize it, that she was the mother of really God because she appears with some signs in her dress that for the indigenous, were part of their religious. Mary takes nothing from paganism or from indigenous gods, only takes the seed of the Verb incarnated, taking the good and truth that God already planted in every human. This is the real divinity, offering the sacrifice of the only true God, His Son Jesus, who is the new Son to everyone.
Amen.
Now I'm going to talk about how the people built on the foundation of Christianity. For the first, we have the acontecimiento guadalupano, the miracle that Our Lady made in Mexico. And then we have that very lady offers to contributed to the Guerra of Cristeros. Was a guerra where a lot of people in Mexico offered and contributed, giving war, a war of Cristeros. The war of Cristeros, a lot of ladies were offering their life was
On glass.
over the
Glass.
cristales.
Glass.
He over he died uh, by Christ.
Yeah,
He don't
praising
want
God.
to be rescued. He died by offering his blood, his suffering for the cause of Christ. And we have to that many priests were sacrificed. All of these saints, but now they are in the altares, in the altars. They give his life for the cause of Christ. And then there were so many um, another kind of contribution. Many devotions that contributed for the foundation in the Christianity along the history of Mexico, like the Secret Hill and many congregations of religious apostolic groups, consecrations to the sacred hearts of Jesus and Mary, and of course, devotion of Our Lady of Guadalupe to reveal the foundations. That is one of our priests in Jalisco. For he was celebrating the mass. He was sacrificing. Short, very short. And that's all that by my part to share with you for glory of Jesus. I want to share something very important and amazing that in since 23 years has been one man that was investigated the signs of the month of Our Lady. Could you give me puedes poner the Guadalupe completa? Yes, and this man has been scientific studying the mantle of Our Lady, the stars that has the position of the constellations that were appears in the moment that she appears in Mexico. And she has points so important that are these like flowers that has an meaning of how to say heal the healings important that appears in our Mexican territory. And this man has been studying all these images of Our Lady, and he could make an harmony like you are hearing. You could up, you could up. Sube el volumen. This is the song that were found in his mouth. That is the really miracle. Listen how beautiful. I'm going to repeat again. These music were found in the picture of not only in the mountain. It's only the picture of Our Lady. Amen. 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 Un hombre. No, 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 no. Amen.
Musical composition
He
notes.
was encountered at music composition. That music that you are hearing song that is very important for us whenever we do our intercessory prayer. Every time we say Viva Cristo Rey Santa María de Guadalupe. And we finish. Okay. Just a little of the chorus, please. We are going to sing it. All the priests, many priests were
are there. There's many priests. Not, this is only one image, but there are many priests that were shot.
Que viva mi Cristo, que viva mi Rey, que entero quiera triunfante su ley, que entero quiera triunfante su ley. Que viva mi Cristo, que viva mi Rey, entero quiera triunfante su ley, entero quiera triunfante su ley. Viva Cristo Rey, viva, viva Cristo Rey. Viva Cristo Rey. Viva.
Somebody wants to translate it fast, so everybody Long live Christ the King. And long live Maria de Guadalupe. I just want to clarify a point for you. In the 1930s, the Masons took over the government in Mexico. You don't hear about this very much, but they were the ones that tried to eradicate the Catholic Church. So the seminaries were closed. Priests could not wear their vestments in public. And these were all these martyrs of the lay faithful, and the priests were killed. So there was like a long period of time there of the martyrdom that was going on and the civil war in Mexico. That's what they're talking about with the war. And the Cristeros were those that was the lay people that 1926 and 27 was Agros, right? That's Alice got there for that one. That was the miracle. But two miracles happened. At the end of the pilgrimage, which was in August, the front page of the newspaper said, "Vote for the love of God." And that was the first time God's name was in the paper since the 1920s. And then in that September that followed, the government changed the laws and decided to give back the property to the Catholic Church. It gave the priests the freedom to vote again and to wear their colors and their things in public. So it took all those years, the result of the enemy taking over in Mexico. But you know, every person that came in the government said there's one thing in Mexico that they can never control and that will never stop, and that is Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Amen.
No more than thank you, sister. No. There are sacrifices with human people like that in the indigenous and other kind and many other things that have been authorized, the marriage between human homosexual and everything, all those things. So for this reason, we invite you, thinking in your own countries also and all the world that is having this problem, to do a Jericho that we are going to start, and we invite all of you to think also, besides Mexico, all your countries and all the countries around the world that are having this problem or is starting to having this problem, like Anita was saying about new elections in your country. That's problem. There is a problem too. So to make one online, yes.
We do the Jericho later.
Yes, afterwards.
We'll do the prayer part later, the
Oh.
Jericho. But can you continue to give us the story now?
The story of Mexico. We finished the story of Mexico.
We're gonna do the Jericho later. Can you continue telling us everything you want to say?
Okay. No.
The fruits? Okay, go on. We're gonna pray after.
Okay. The Jericho will be done at the end of later. First, we are going to talk to you to share with you about the fruits of Mexico. And Olvita is also sharing with us the ones from Cancun. So we can, yes. Here we have Carlos Aguirretes with his Episcopal Vicars. He was a cardinal, now he's cardinal. He was Archbishop of Archdiocese of Tlalnepantla. But then Pope Francis named him as cardinal. A year ago, he was translated to the city of Mexico, and we stayed 1 year more or less without Archbishop in Tlalnepantla. Here is the Mass in Basilica de Guadalupe, where he take the possession in a Eucharistic Mass. Please. This is another name to Sergio Beso Rivera Jalapa. I believe your sister met him in one time. Now he is a cardinal. Another fruit. Now, new successful appointments made by cardinal as new rectors of seminars is this one, is priest of Mexico City, and another one, some pictures about La Gran Misión. This mission started 5 years ago with the invitation of the cardinal, as invitation also of Francis. Pope Francis says that he wants that the church converts in missionary, almost be missionaries. So this day, all the church, all the archdioceses go away, go out of the church and knock doors, inviting all the people, house by house, inviting all the people to return back to the Catholic Church. This is, for example, this is the laity people that is congregated there. When they finish their work, all of us have to return to the church and give our Lord the work done. These are young people, and with the families, they too, the cardinal also goes out and knock doors. Yes. Then comes another. These are new parishes where our Lord wants or wanted to have intercession prayer. This is also in the 5,000 years that that Lady de los Remedios appears there, not appears. Where found the image? One Spaniard took her the image in goose image. He put it in his horse and go to battle. And when he returns back, he keep it away from the horse. La silla la silla del caballo.
The seat of the horse.
The side of the horse, the back of the horse.
Okay, there. And then he enters with the image. So we are in Jubilee with this lady. She is patrona de la Arquidiócesis de Tlalnepantla.
The patron. The patron of
The
the
My English is not good. Thank you, sister. Another correct. Well,
The mission is on Pentecost Sunday.
Yes, yes.
yes.
Sorry.
And this mission,
Yeah.
talking about yes, I told them after the mission, when we finish this mission,
It's on Pentecost Sunday.
we have to start here working in this
Basílica de los Remedios, with another group that they are calling. There will be another group that will start on and to receive the blessings of the Jubilee for the people that is going to start their praying in intercession. And they also are going, because they came from other vicaries, they also are going to learn intercession prayer to take it to another vicaries that are this far. Yes? And then, what else? This one. This is when Cardinal was named like that. Pope Francis gave a place in charge to them to be prayed for all the time. They have that commission, and in this he is giving us a replica of San María de los Remedios. This one a replica to this church. He's with all these 2017 with Nuncio Apostolico Franco Coppola in the inauguration of the Year of the Jews. Another fruit is this program that was started in Argentina with Pope Francis before he was. And now this program comes to Mexico. Here is the Cardinal when he inaugurates it. And this program consists in inviting young people to different programs, music, painting, and we will celebrate this in 2031. And no, excuse me. Sorry, this one. Yes. And also they are starting working to celebrate the second millennium of the redemption, because Jesus died at 33 years. So we are going to celebrate the second millennium of redemption. And as you remember, we were invited, all FEB were invited. This was in June with, I don't know, but this is with another commandment. I don't remember right now. But this is, and the next, please. This is the same that I was talking as here. The beginning, it was in February 14 in this year. The starting of the celebration of the 5th century.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. 5th century of the presence of Christ alive through Our Lady of the Remedios. This is very important to know why. Because many people in Mexico have the idea does the miracles is Our Lady. But as it says, the presence of Christ alive through Our Lady in the remedies, that is important. Our Lady, and when it was Acontecimiento Guadalupano, in her bomb was our
Lord.
Lord. Thank you. This is before the elections 2 years ago. This cardinal celebrate in a big stadium called to Our Lady to the